Now I am going to read Nectar of Instruction, verse number 10. कर्मिभ्यः परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिमययुर्जनानि तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्ता भक्ति पराम प्रेमैकनिष्ठातत तेभ्यस्तत्पशुपाल पंकजदृश्यस्तवयोऽपि सा राधिका प्रेष्टा तद्वत् इयं तदीय सरासितं न श्रेयात् कः कृति. Translation. In the Shastras, it is said that all types of fruity workers who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge, may take to devotional service, he is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna. The transcendental cowherd boy among the gopis, Srimati Radharani, is the most dear to Krishna. Her Kundal lake is the profoundly dear to Lord Krishna, as this most beloved of the gopis, who then will not reside at Radha Kunda and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feeling. Render loving service to the divine couple Sri Sri Radha Govinda, who perform their Ashtakaliya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kunda are the most fortunate people in the universe. Purport by S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada. At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of gaining material profits by working are called karmis or fruitive worker. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described in the Vishnu Purana. विष्णु शक्ति पर प्रोक्ता कशत्र झांकिया ततपर अविद्या कर्म समन्या तृतीया शक्ति ईशते. Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into three categories, namely the spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. Material energy is considered to be the third class energy, Tritiya Shakti. Those living beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hawks in working very hard simply by sense gratification. However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly attracted to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly according to Vedic injunction are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, after executing the result of their so-called pious activities, they again return to the earth, which is called Martyaloka, the place of death. Although such persons may be elevated to the heavenly planets by their pious activities, and although They may enjoy life there for many thousands of years. They nonetheless must return to this planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted. This is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we find many businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialists. Among the karmis are some bikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. Those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary system. Such karmis are superior to the vikarmis, for they are faithful to the direction of the Vedas and are certainly dear to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, ये यथा माम प्रपद्यन्ते तम तथैव भजामि हम. In whatever way one surrenders up unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfills the desire of the karmis and jnanis, not to speak of the bhaktas. Although the karmis are sometimes elevated to higher planetary system, as long as they remain attached to fruitive activities, they must accept new material bodies after death. If one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary system, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standards of material happiness. On the other hand, those who are engaged in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animals, trees, and plants. Thus, those fruitive actors who do not care for the Vedic direction, Vikramis, are not appreciated by learned saintly person, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply by sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man, for as a result of such activities, one gets a material body which is full of misery. The purpose of human life is to get out of the threefold miserable conditions which are concomitant with material existence. Unfortunately, fruity workers are mad to earn money and acquire temporary material comforts by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower species of life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy. In this material world, they do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend the major portion acquiring money of the sense gratification. Ultimately, such activities end in death. Materialists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants, or trees. Thus, all their activities simply defeat the purpose of life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on the platform of ignorance, thinking that they are getting material benefits in the shape of a skyscraper, building, big cars, honorable position, and so on. The materialists do not know that in the next life they will be degraded and that all their activities simply serve as prabhava, their defeat. That is, this is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5. Prabhavas tavad abodha jatha. One should therefore be eager to understand the science of soul, Atma Tattva, unless one comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, by which one understands that the soul and not the body is oneself. One remains on the platform of ignorance out of the thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses. One may come to the platform of knowledge and understand their values of life. Such a person is called Jnani. The Jnani knows the fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of a body to another, as indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam by the term Sarira Bandha, bound to bodily existence. As long as one maintain any conception of sense enjoyment, his mind will be absorbed in karma fruitive activities, and this will oblige him to transmigrate from one body to another. Thus, a Jnani is considered superior to a Karmi because he at least refrains from the blind activities of sense enjoyment. This is the verdict of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, although a Jnani may be liberated from the ignorance of karmis, unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, he is still considered to be in ignorance, avidya. Although one may be accepted as Jnani or one advanced in knowledge, his knowledge is considered impure because he has no information of devotional service and thus neglects the direct worship of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When a Jnani takes to devotional service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary Jnani. Such an advanced person is described in Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Prema. How a Jnani takes to devotional service is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, where Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadante Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Bahunam. After many birth and death, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Actually, a person is wise when he surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, but such a Mahatma, great soul, is very rare. After taking to devotional service, under the regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of a spontaneous love of Godhead, following in the footsteps of great devotee like Narada and Sanaka and Sanatana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognize him to the superior. The devotee who have developed love of Godhead are certainly in an exalted position. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna. Nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavana or Mathura, the gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that in one sense they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with Krishna. Rather, Vipralabdha Seva, thinking of Krishna is separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted, and out of all these exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings. In this way, Sri Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna and that her Kunda, Sri Radha Kunda, is the most exalted place. This is verified in a quotation from Laghu Bhagavatam, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. यथा राधा प्रिय विजन तय कुंडम प्रियम तथा सर्वगोपीज सेविका विजनर अत्यंत वल्लभा. Just as Srimati Radharani is dear to the Supreme Lord Krishna Vishnu, so her bathing place Radhakunda is especially dear to Krishna among all the gopis. She alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radha Kunda and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of रूप गोस्वामी इन द 10th वर्स ऑफ उपदेशामृत. तो इस तरह से हमारा नेक्स्ट ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन का 10th वर्स कंप्लीट होता है. हरे कृष्णा.